Alright, so for the first one, with dividing polynomials, we can actually separate this like as if we were a fraction. So I'm just going to rewrite that real quick so you can have 10x over divided by 5 minus 25 divided by 5. 10 and 5 can be divided, so 10 divided by 5 is going to be 2. In fact, me 2x. And then 25 divided by 5 is to be 5, and it's minus 5, so this would be your answer. Now you can also set this up as long division, which we were going to do later on when we get to binomials. So to write that, you're going to have 5 divided by 10x minus 25. You have to think to yourself, okay, how many times, what do I need to multiply 5 by to get to 10x? And that's going to be 2x. So 2x times 5x is going to be 10x. We're going to subtract that. So you're left with 0, there's nothing here. I bring whatever is down left, so minus 25. And since this is just 0, I'm going to go ahead and erase that. So what do we have to multiply 5 by to get to negative 25? Minus 5, or negative 5, so negative 5 times 5 is to be negative 25. We're subtracting that. This would be 0. We don't have a remainder. And our answers match up. Alright, so let's do the next one. So again, we can do the same thing where we can just rewrite this as a fraction. So 3x squared divided by 3x minus 6x, and then you can break that up. So what do we need to multiply 3x by to get 3x squared? So if we cancel this out, 3 divided by 3 is 1. X squared divided by x is just x. x. And then we're going to do it for the next term. So 6 divided by 3 is going to be -2 because it's a negative. And then x divided by x is just x. So this would be our answer. Now if you wanted to set it up like this for the long division, I'm going to erase this real quick so we can get a little bit more space right here. So to set that up, this one is going to be just a little bit different. So 3x and then we're going to divide, we're going to use 3x to divide 3x squared minus 6x. And then what I am also going to do is I'm going to put plus 0. There isn't a constant term, but if we can put a 0 there as a placeholder. Okay, and now we need to, if we're going to turn 3x into 3x squared, what do we need to multiply by? Multiply by x, so notice I'm putting it above the same degree. So x times 3x is going to be 3x squared. I'm going to subtract that. This will cancel, we're left with 0, so I bring down what's left. That's -6x, and the reason I put this here is because when we multiply something by 3x to turn into -6x, we're going to multiply by -2, so that way it's above the same degree. So -2 times 3x is going to be -6x, and when we subtract that, we get 0. So we're good, and our answers match up. On the next one, the polynomial is not simplified, so we need to write this in standard form. So our highest degree is 3, and there's only one of them, it's -24, and I'm going to go ahead and set this up as a long division method. So we're going to have 8x squared. We're going to divide -24x cubed. Then we need to combine 32x squared, 16x squared, and -8 squared. When we combine all those together, -8 plus 16 is +8. +8 plus 32 is going to be +40x squared. So then what can I multiply 8x squared by to get to -24x cubed? It's going to be -3. In fact, we'll just actually just set this up as a fraction, so we'll just rewrite this to be easier. Sorry, y'all. And then you can just do this, you're going to divide into each term, so -24x cubed divided by 8x squared, so -24 divided by 8 is going to be -3. X cubed divided by x squared is just going to be x. And then what do I need to multiply 8x squared by to get to 40x squared? It's going to be +5. That's our answer. Now if we wanted to make sure we got the right answer, what we could do is we could take our answer and then just multiply it what we were dividing by to still see if we get this. So let's just do that real quick. So this is going to be my check. This is my check. So to check, we're going to take what we were dividing by, our divisor, and we're going to multiply it by our answer. 8 times negative 3 is going to be negative 24. X squared times x is going to be x cubed. And then 8 x squared times 5 is going to be positive 40. X squared. And our answer matches up to what we originally started with, so we're good to go. Alright, so I'm gonna scroll down. And if I wanted to do the long division on this one, was going to be easier rather than if it was just a monomial. So since we're dealing now with polynomials, or in this case a binomial, so I'm going to write out x minus 7, and we're going to divide x squared minus 14x plus 49. So what do I need to multiply x by to get to x squared? I'm going to multiply by x. So x times x is going to be x squared, but I need to do it to both terms. So x times negative 7 is going to be negative 7x. So I'm going to subtract that away. X squared minus x squared cancels. We're left with 0. Negative 14 minus negative 7, so plus 7. So negative 14 plus 7 is going to be negative 7x, and bring down what we haven't touched yet, so the plus 49. Now we need to ask, what do I need to multiply x by to get to negative 7x? So we're going to multiply by negative 7. Negative 7 times x is going to be negative 7x. Negative 7 times negative 7 is going to be positive 49. We're going to subtract that. So these cancel. Negative 7 minus negative 7 is going to be 0. Positive 49 minus 49 is going to be 0. So we don't have a remainder. So our answer is x minus 7. And if I wanted to do my check, you take what our divisor was, so x minus 7, and we're going to multiply it by our answer, x minus 7, and then we're just going to FOIL. So first, x times x is going to be x squared. Then we're going to do outer, so x times negative 7 is going to be negative 7x. Then we're going to do inner, so negative 7 times x is going to be negative 7x. And then last, negative 7 times negative 7, so that's going to be positive 49. Simplify, so we just need to combine these like terms right here. Negative 7x minus 7x is going to be negative 14x plus 49. And does that match up? It does, so our answer is good. Now for the next one though, we don't have 3 terms, we have 2 terms. We have a quadratic binomial. So I'm going to set this up just a little bit different than our last one because we had 3 spots that we were dealing with. I'm going to put a placeholder. I know in the video this morning, if you had already watched it, they just left it blank. Another thing you can do is to write it as such. So we're going to divide by 2x plus 4. And we're dividing 4x squared plus 0x. We don't have a first degree, so you could, since there is none, you can just leave it as 0x. I leave the degree there so I know that I'm going from least to greatest, and I have all my degrees from highest to lowest, even if it's not written present, because 0 times x is just 0. You could leave that blank. This is just another way that you could write it, because this is still true because it's 0 times x, and that's just 0, and that we would then 0 minus 16 is just negative 16. Alright, so what do we need to multiply 2x by to get to 4x squared? We need to multiply it by 2x. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times 4 is going to be added this term so we know what we're subtracting from. So when we subtract 4x minus 4x is 0. 0 minus 8x is going to be negative 8x. And I'm sorry if I said that incorrectly. That's 4x squared minus 4x squared. I don't know if I said 4x or 4x squared. And then drop down what we didn't touch, the negative 16. And then what do we need to multiply 2x by to get to negative 8x? We need to multiply by negative 4. So negative 4 times 2x is going to be negative 8x. Negative 4 times 4 is going to be negative 16. And if I was to subtract that, negative 8x minus negative 8, so you're actually adding, because subtracting a negative is like adding a positive. So that's going to be 0, those will cancel. And then negative 16 minus negative 16, same thing. So negative 16 plus 16 would be 0. So we do not have a remainder. So we were good. If we had a remainder, we would be writing that different, but we can get to that later. So our final answer is going to be 2x minus 4. And then if we wanted to check, we would just take our answer and multiply it by our divisor to make sure we got the same answer. And we can do that relatively quickly, so let's just do that real quick. So our divisor, 2x plus 4, multiplied our answer, 2x minus 4. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Outside, 2x times negative 4 is going to be negative 8x. Inside, 4x times 2x is going to be positive 8x. And then last, 4 times negative 4 is going to be negative 16. Negative 8 plus 8 will cancel those. So we're just left with 4x squared minus 16. And it matches back up. So our check is good. So our answer is good. Alright, I'm going to go to the next page. I'm going to do 3 more from the notes, and then I'll pause here, because I keep seeming to be having some technical difficulties today, so I do apologize about that. And I'll post this video up if you'd like to watch it later, so you can review all the notes again. And I will be doing some more review on Wednesday with algebra. Alright, so and let's set this up. So we got x plus 2. We're going to see how many times that's going to go into x squared plus 10x plus 16. So what do we need to multiply x by to get to x squared? We're going to multiply by just x. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is positive 2x. Subtract. So x squared minus x squared will be 0. 10x minus 2x is going to be 8x plus 16. And then what do I need to multiply x by to get to 8x? I'm going to multiply that by 8. 8 times x is going to be 8x. 8 times 2 is going to be positive 16. When we subtract, that cancels out, so we're left with 0. So our answer is x plus 8. And then if you wanted to do the check, just to make sure, you're going to take our, excuse me for 1 second, our divisor, x plus 2, and multiply our answer. Let's see if we get back to our original polynomial, x times x, x squared, x times 8, 8x, 2 times x, 2x, 2 times 8, 16. Combine, x squared plus 10x plus 16. So did we get back to where we started? We did. So our answer is good. All right, next one. So this is not in standard form. It's not in written from least to greatest degree. So I will write that once I set up my little long division setup. So we have 4x minus 1, and we're going to divide 12x squared minus 23x plus 5. Now that's in standard form. So now what do I need to multiply 4x by to get to 12x squared? I need to multiply that by 3x. 3x times 4x is going to be 12x squared. 3x times negative 1 will be negative 3x. And then we're going to subtract that, so 12 minus 12 will be the 0. This will cancel out. And then negative 23x minus negative 3x, so that's a double negative. Let's make that a positive, so negative 23x plus 3x will be negative 20x plus 5. So now what do I need to do? I need to multiply 4x by something to get it to negative 20x, and I'm going to multiply that something is going to be negative 5. Negative 5 times 4x is going to be negative 20x. Negative 5 times negative 1 is going to be positive 5. Subtract. And you'll notice that they still match up, so doing the inverse, so if we're just subtracting this away from itself, you're just going to get 0. So now we can do the check. So take our divisor, 4x, ooh, not plus 1, minus 1. And we're going to multiply that by our answer, 3x minus 5. 4x times 3x is going to be 12x squared. Outside, 4x times negative 5 is going to be negative 20x. Inner, or inside, negative 1 times 3x is going to be negative 3x. And then last, negative 1 times negative 5 is going to be positive 5. Simplify, you get 12x squared minus 23x plus 5. Does that match up? It does. So is our check good? It is. So that means then our answer is good. So 3x minus 5 is our answer. Last one. This one is actually going to have a remainder, and I'm going to show you what's going to happen if we do have a remainder at the end. All right, so set it up, x minus 2. 3x squared minus 2x minus 13. So what do I need to multiply x by to get to 3x squared? I need to multiply it by 3x. 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times negative 2 is negative 6x. Subtract it. 3x minus 3x is going to be 0. Negative 2x minus negative 6x, or plus 6x. So negative 2 plus 6 is going to be positive 4x. Minus 13. So then what do I need to do? I need to multiply x by something to get to 4x. We're going to multiply that by positive 4. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Subtract. 4x minus 4x is 0. Negative 13 plus 8, because this is a double negative, so negative 13 plus 8 is going to be a negative 5. And this is our remainder. So what do we do with the remainder at the end? Well, we tack it on after here, so we're going to leave this as negative 5 divided by x minus 2. So this would be our answer. Now, how do you check this since we have a remainder this time? So what you're going to do, take the first part of it, so without the remainder, we're going to take the 3x plus 4 first. So we're going to do x minus 2. For divisor, we're going to multiply it by our answer, 3x plus 4 only. We're going to leave off the remainder for now, and I'll show you what we'll do with that in a second. So x times 3x is going to be 3x squared. X times 4 is going to be positive 4x. Negative 2 times 3x is going to be negative 6x. And then negative 2 plus 4 is going to be negative 8. Combine. So you have 3x squared minus 2x minus 8. And now we need to add a remainder. So we're going to add a remainder, and it's a negative 5. So we'll just do minus 5. This is our remainder. And when we do that, negative 8 minus 5 is negative 13. Still have the negative 2x, and we have the 3x squared, and we still get the same answer. So our check is good, so that means our answer is good. Hopefully that helps some. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. Hopefully I can get these fixed today, and I will try to stream again tomorrow. Is going to be pre-algebra. However, if you want to come in at the last, so I'm supposed to stream at 2 tomorrow. If you want to come in at 2:30, if you have any questions about the notes that you were lost on for here, or anything about the guided practice, I will go over that with y'all at the end there, but I still want to give them time. And then after that, then I can see you on Wednesday. Alright, so I miss y'all. I hope you're doing well, and I will talk to you later.